Have you ever driven away from your grocery store, turned a sharp corner, and all of a sudden your unopened carton of milk or juice or almond milk fell over in the seat or floorboard? It's happened to me before, and I've thought, wow, I sure hope that stuff doesn't leak all over my truck. Well, today you're about to discover one of the most invisible behind-the-scenes processes that makes sure that never happens. And crazy enough, I'm part of that process. Before we get into my little workshop and how I make thousands of test blanks that help quality assurance technicians prevent massive recalls on half-gallon drinks, let me tell you a quick story, a tale of three companies. Company A is a plastics manufacturer. They make injection molded pull tab spouts, the little plastic lids on some half-gallon cartons. The plastic molds are monsters, turning out hundreds of parts every minute, and they produce around the clock. Company B produces what you and I know as the half-gallon carton, coating with polyethylenes and printed with logos, bright colors, smiling cows, all the good grocery shelf art. Company C is the final stop. They fold the cartons, fill them with your drink of choice, seal them, weld on that plastic spout, and send them to a store near you so that you can enjoy a refreshing beverage. Now here's where it gets interesting. To attach a plastic spout from Company A to a polyethylene coated paper carton from Company B, Company C uses high frequency vibrations so intense that you can't even see them. These vibrations create enough friction to fuse the materials together in milliseconds, basically melting the carton liner to that plastic spout with a watertight seal. But there's a problem. For that pull tab to work in your hands at home, the plastic has to be thin enough for any of us to be able to pull it apart. But it also has to be strong enough to survive that violent vibration of welding. Too thick, you can't open your carton. Too thin, the weld fails when the vibrations occur and the carton will leak. And yes, leaks have happened before. When they do, we're talking about recalls that cost companies multiple thousands of dollars, all because the molds at Company A went out of tolerance for a short window of time and nobody caught it fast enough. Company A cannot afford massive recalls, so they need a way to test the spouts to prevent shipping millions of out-of-spec spouts to Company C. They can't build an entire packaging line, but they can simulate that violent welding process. So here's what they do. They run their injection molds, and at regular intervals, every so many hours, every shift, they pull a sample part. Then they take pieces of carton stock and weld the spouts onto it just like Company C would, but at a much smaller scale. After that, they test it with some dyed liquid to make sure the seal holds and the tab opens correctly. It's called a weld and die test. What happens if the test fails? Well, then the mold gets adjusted immediately before thousands more of bad parts get made and shipped out. And this, believe it or not, is where I come in. Company A, the plastics manufacturer, needs a steady stream of test blanks, small square pieces of carton stock with a precisely cut 28mm hole. They use these blanks to weld on the test spouts. But these blanks don't exist naturally in the wild. And Company A is a plastics manufacturer. They're not a gable top stock manufacturer. So, Company A hires me to make them. Interestingly enough, Company B ships me pallets of misprinted half-gallon cartons that would otherwise be recycled. Cartons for almond milk, orange juice, 2% milk, skim milk, brands you'd recognize instantly. They arrive unfolded with one factory-punched 28mm hole already in each sheet. My job is to cut those sheets into smaller 4x4 blanks. They're actually 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Punch or laser cut additional 28mm holes into each blank, and then I box them up by the thousands, and then I ship them to Company A so their quality assurance technicians can weld spouts, test seals, and prevent recalls. I ship anywhere from 2,500 to 20,000 blanks at a time, The most I've shipped on any given day is 25,000. When that half-gallon milk falls over in your car without a leak, yeah, there's a chance one of my blanks helped make sure that spout was good to go. The process has evolved over the years in my shop. At first, we cut cartons with a table saw, and then we would punch holes one by one with a pneumatic die press. 2,500 blanks took over an hour. My back remembers those days, one punch at a time. Now, thanks to a laser cutter, I can stack multiple sheets, cut through the polyethylene lined carton stock, and cut perfect holes in minutes. Fun quirks: the laser can melt layers together, so sometimes I have to peel them apart. I blow off debris, stack them neatly, box them, label them, and ship them off to save the world from leaky orange juice. Every box that leaves my shop is headed straight to an industrial quality control process that almost no one knows exists. A quick aside, one of the interesting things to me is that I purchased my equipment to enjoy woodworking. I have generated thousands of dollars on my equipment cutting paper. But here's the part I love. This entire operation, my shop, the test blanks, the welding tests, is an invisible link in the massive supply chain that ensures your drink carton doesn't leak between the packing plant and your refrigerator. Most people will never think about it. Most will never even know it exists. But you do now. Through this work, I've learned so much about small-scale manufacturing, process optimization, and getting big results out of a little shop packed with woodworking tools that somehow became part of the food packing industry. And honestly, I get a lot of joy from it. So next time you pull up to your house and set that half-gallon container upright and discover there was no leak when it fell over, you can smile a little because someone, somewhere, welded a spout to a test blank that I made that proved that the injection mold was dialed in just right. Have a great day and see you next time.